What's up, YouTube? Back with another news report today, and today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is saying that all U.S. workers are going to be getting a raise in the taxes, a tax raise, so that way they'll be making more money. So let's go ahead and get into this news article. So, how big of a raise might U.S. workers get under Trump's payroll tax plan? This article was posted on August 14, 2020 at 9:52 a.m. President Donald Trump has ordered companies to defer payroll taxes in a move to provide Americans with financial relief and to lift the coronavirus battered economy. Yet the plan, which instructs the Treasury Department to stop collecting employee payroll taxes starting September 1st, raises a range of questions, not the least of which is whether companies would pass that money along to their workers. They got to. I mean, if he's making this a thing, this is going to be a law. If they do that, they're basically breaking the law, I'm sure. Mr. Trump's efforts to boost paychecks is also only a temporary order, extending only through year end, and it doesn't cut the amount of payroll taxes workers will actually owe. Rather, his executive order creates a payroll tax holiday, allowing companies to delay the collection of payroll taxes for 4 months. Still, employees would eventually have to pay those taxes in full sometime next year. Oh wow. You serious? I don't understand why he's doing that. And companies would have to automatically adjust their employees' tax withholdings over the next 2 weeks, leaving little time to adjust their systems. But perhaps the biggest hurdle is this: while employees must pay their half of their payroll tax, 6.2% of their paycheck, employers remain on the hook for the entire 12.4% that is owed to the government. As a result, companies might be reluctant to stop withholding payroll taxes unless employers are clear on how those taxes will eventually get paid. The upshot: workers shouldn't count on seeing an increase in their paychecks because of the payroll tax deferral. Not by September 1st or perhaps ever. Even a straight up legislatively passed payroll tax cut would be far from the top 5 best measures to stimulate the economy. Instead, Josh Bivens, director of research at the left-leaning Economy Policy Institute, this is obviously much worse, because it is not clear how many companies will actually stop withholding, and how many people will send the money given. They will have to give it back come January. If you want people to spend a tax break, you don't want to tell them they will have to give it back in 4 months. Trending news. One of the most reliable indicators of re-election looks ominous for Trump. Trump's $400 in unemployment aid. When would it start? Here's what you need to know about Mr. Trump's payroll tax plan. How much could the average worker get? Employees now pay 6.2% of their income in payroll taxes. The money is withheld from their paycheck and used to fund Social Security. Employers also pay 6.2% of workers' salaries. Mr. Trump's orders defers payrolls taxes for workers making $2,000 or less a week. In theory, over the last 4 months of 2020, that would amount to a 6.2% raise for anyone making $104,000 or less. The median wage for workers is $957 a week, or the equivalent of $49,764 a year. Based on that median wage, for workers that works out to $1,025 or $128 more per paycheck. Would companies really boost your paycheck? That's unclear, Daniel Daniel Himmel, a law professor at the University of Chicago, argued in an op-ed for the Washington Post this week that Mr. Trump's move to only defer, not cut, payroll taxes puts companies in an awkward position. After all, if employers don't collect taxes now, they will still have to ensure the full 12.4% in payroll taxes is paid later. Many companies may also be reluctant to count on their employees to repay the deferred taxes on their own, so give workers that tax break now. They may have to prepare to withhold double the amount of payroll taxes next year, a sure way to anger employees. In addition, if any workers are laid off or leave their job to work elsewhere before the payroll taxes are paid, employers may find themselves stuck with the balance. Such contingencies are why many companies may opt to keep their employees' payroll taxes with withholdings where they are. Would the payroll tax holiday help the economy? Probably, but the boost would be marginal. Payroll tax cuts do not tend to be progressive, meaning that unlike income tax cuts, payroll tax cuts tend to benefit lower wage workers, according to Bivens of the Economic Policy Institute. The bottom 2/3 of American households pay more in payroll taxes than they pay in income taxes, and traditionally lower wage workers are more likely to spend the money they get from tax cuts. Goldman Sachs economists calculated that Mr. Trump's executive order would defer a total of $145 billion in taxes. That amounts to a modest of 0.7% boost in U.S. GDP for the last 4 months of the year. But that's if employees spend those extra dollars, which people might be reluctant to do given that we are talking about a delay, not a cut in taxes. Based on similar tax deferrals in the past, Goldman estimates that about half of all Americans would opt to withhold their payroll taxes in the end. They estimate that 40% of the extra money will be spent, or just under $60 billion. That equates to a boost to the economy of just 0.3% of GDP over those 4 months. And that boost would quickly be reversed next year when the tax is owed. Mr. Trump has said that if he is reelected, he would make the payroll tax cut permanent, so it wouldn't have to be repaid. But even if he is reelected, Mr. Trump would need Congress to make the payroll tax cut permanent. How would the payroll tax holiday affect Social Security? Payroll taxes are the main funding source for the Social Security Trust Fund. Again, however, since Mr. Trump's orders is a payroll tax holiday and not an official cut, it shouldn't impact how much money is collected for Social Security. If Mr. Trump were to make the tax cut permanent, that would mean the Social Security Trust Fund would run out of money faster than current projections. But Congress could still opt to fund the program in other ways to keep it solvent. Okay. So from what it sounds like, he is trying to help us out a lot. I still feel like 0.4% or 0.3%, it's not really doing all that much, but it's doing something. So he is trying to help out the economy in some way by helping to where we don't have to pay as many taxes. But if I have to owe taxes, then that's not really helping me or anybody else. But that's all for this news article today. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you like news videos, go and hit the subscribe button, and I will be uploading more videos here soon. But that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. News Radar signing out.